Have a nice day, children. Today, our lesson is History, Unit 6, The Middle Ages. Introduction. Historians call the period between the end of the Roman Empire in 476 AD and the capture of Constantinople by the Turks in 1453 AD as the Middle Ages. The Middle Ages has been further classified as early, central or high and later. In the early Middle Ages, Christianity followed by Islam began to establish themselves as dominant religions of continental Europe. The history of Arab civilization that began a little later than the history of Byzantium covers a period roughly from 630 AD to 1300. Seljuk Turks were a tribe of Tartars from Central Asia. They established a powerful empire in Persia. Their region was one of the great progress in literature, art and architecture. Next topic, East Asia in the Middle Ages. China, Tang Dynasty. Sui dynasty collapsed in 40 years because of financial burden imposed by public works like the Grand Canal and the expensive wars waged to conquer northern part of Korea. Li Yuan, who organized the rebellion, made Yang Yu the emperor of China. As Yang was killed by one of his royal officials, the chancellor Li Yuan proclaimed himself emperor. Scholar officials trained in Confucius philosophy were appointed to counterbalance the land-owning aristocratic class. Let me see about the Great Wall of China. Between 8th and 7th centuries BC, the warring states in China built defensive walls to protect themselves from enemies from the north. This wall, considered to be one of the wonders of the world, the wall was further extended and strengthened by the succeeding dynasties. Now it is 6,700 kilometers in length. Let's see about Sung Dynasty. The rebellion of hard-pressed peasantry under the leadership of Huang Chao's dealt a death knell to the tottering Tang Empire. The empire split into 5 rival states until it was reunited under a new dynasty, Sung. Iron and steel industries became highly organized. The quantity of iron China produced in 1078 AD exceeded 114,000 tons. That is, England produced only 68,000 tons even in 1788. Next we will see about fall of Sung Dynasty. Sung period was also a period of great prosperity to the landowning class, officials and rich merchants. The peasants, by contrast, had to suffer grinding poverty. Before any internal crisis could develop, there were 2 external invasions from the north that ended the Sung Dynasty. Now we will see about Yuan Dynasty. The Mongols, who overran Persia and the whole of Central Asia, did not spare China either. Mangu Khan became the Great Khan in 1252, who appointed Kublai Khan the governor of China. Though the Mongol court in Beijing impressed a foreigner like Marco Polo, the poverty of peasantry continued. Finally, the leader of Red Turbans, Chu Yuanchang, captured the Mongol capital, Beijing, and proclaimed himself emperor in 1369. Next, Ming Empire. The Ming Empire, which replaced the Mughal Empire, consciously discouraged industry and foreign trade in order to concentrate on agriculture. This resulted economically China lagging behind in the 16th century. Okay, now we will see about Japan. Many of ancestors of the Japanese came from Korea and some from Malaysia. It was through Korea that Chinese civilization reached Yamato. Yamato was the original name of Japan. The original inhabitants of the country are known as Ainus. The original religion of Japan was Shinto. It was a mixture of nature and ancestor worship. Japan remained in isolation for many centuries. This gave them the benefit of enjoying freedom from the foreign invasions. In Japan, Buddhism came through Korea. In Japan also, the leading families opposed and fought each other to gain power. Their emperor Mikado was an autocrat, but a puppet in the hands of a few powerful families. The first great family that controlled the state was the Soga family. Sotoku Taizai was the leader. He made the central government strong. After the death of Sotoku Taizai, his family was driven out by Nakata no Kamatari, the founder of the Fujiwara family. Kamatari adopted many Chinese methods and made the central government further strong. He made Narok the capital. From 794 AD, Kyoto remained the capital for more than 1000 years until it was replaced by Tokyo. During the 200-year rule of Fujiwaras, a new class of large landholders emerged. These landholders were also military men called daimyos, meaning great names lords. The daimyos became powerful with their retainers and armies. Out of the fight between two chief families, the Chara and the Minamoto, Yoritomo emerged successful. In AD 1192, the emperor gave him the high-sounding title of Seitai Shogun, which means the barbarian subduing great general. The title carried full power to govern hereditarily. The shogun became the real ruler. In this way began the rule of shogunate. Yoritomo established his military capital at Kamakura. Therefore, the first shogunate is called the Kamakura shogunate. Japan followed China in all spheres of life, but in its own way. The government was a feudal military government administered by samurai or warriors. The Mongols, who changed the course of history in Asia and terrified Europe, were successfully repulsed by the Japanese under this shogunate. A new line of shogunate came to power known as Ashikaga shogunate that lasted for 235 years. Three men ultimately recused Japan from the prolonged civil war. They were Borbunaga, daimyo or noble, Hideyoshi, a peasant, and Tokugawa Ieyasu, one of the distinguished nobles of the time. By the end of the 16th century, the whole of Japan was again united. Now we will see about Islam and the rise of Islamic empires. Prophet Muhammad established Islam. Islam gave a message of brotherhood. Muhammad laid stress on the equality of all. Faced with the persecution in his place of birth, Muhammad and his followers moved to the city of Yathrib. The flight of Muhammad from Mecca in 622 AD is called Hijrah in Arabic. In honor of his coming, the people of Yathrib renamed the city to Medinat an-Nabi, the city of the Prophet. It is now known as Medina. Muhammad died 10 years after the Hijrat. Arabian. Abu Bakr and Umar, who succeeded Prophet Muhammad as Caliph, both a religious and temporal leader, laid the foundation for an Islamic empire. In a short period of time, the Arabs defeated both the Eastern Roman Empire and the Sassanid king of Persia. Jerusalem, the holy city of Jews and Christians, was owned by the Arabs, and the whole of Spain and Persia came under the new Arab Empire. Islam advocated simplicity and equality. These two ideas impressed people fed up with the old order of oppression and exploitation. The Arabs, until then largely nomads from the deserts, became the rulers of a mighty empire. They were called Sarsens. It is from Sahara and Nazim, the dwellers of the desert. Birth of Sunni and Shia sects. The quarrel for the leadership of Arabia led to a division in Islam. The two sects formed out of the division were the Sunnis and Shias. The Sunni Muslims maintained that the head of the Islamic State and successor to the Prophet should be elected by representatives of the whole body of believers. Rule of Umayyad dynasty. The caliphs belonging to a branch of Muhammad's family known as Umayyads. Umayyad ruled for about 100 years. Damascus was their capital. They developed a new style of architecture known as Saracenic architecture. The Muslim Arabs carried Islam far and wide. Ali, the son-in-law of Prophet Muhammad, and his son Hussein were murdered. Umayyads were overthrown by Abbasids. This branch descended from Prophet Muhammad's uncle Abbas, and hence his followers were called Abbasids. Rule of Abbasids. Abbasid rule began in 750 AD, assuming the title of the commander of the faithful. Abbasid Caliph wielded authority as any other emperor. The Abbasids tried to rival the old empires in splendor. The capital was shifted from Damascus to Baghdad in Iraq. We can see the short note on Baghdad. Baghdad, a city known as the city of Arabian Nights, was a vast city of places and public offices and schools and colleges and great shops and parks and gardens. Visitors came to Baghdad from all over the world. Let's see about Arabs' scholarly pursuits. Abbasid caliphs did not attempt to conquer new lands. They were more interested in scholarly pursuits. The Arabs had a scientific spirit of inquiry. In some subjects like medicine and mathematics, they learnt much more from India. Disintegration of Arab Empire and rise of Seljuk Turks. The Abbasid Empire was at the height of its glory during the reign of Harun al-Rashid. Soon after his death, the Arab Empire started disintegrating. Disintegrating means separating. The Turks, known as Seljuk Turks, who had become Muslims, succeeded in taking possession of Baghdad. They also defeated the Byzantine army of Constantinople and posed a challenge to the European states. The Christian pilgrims to the holy city of Jerusalem were put to a lot of hardships by the Turks. The resultant conflict led to the Crusades. Let's see about Crusades and fall of Seljuk Turks. The Pope and the Church called upon all the Christian peoples of Europe to march to the rescue of the holy city, that is Jerusalem. The Crusaders had to fight against the Seljuk Turks who controlled those parts. The struggle between Christianity and Islam, beginning in 1095, continued for nearly 200 years and is called the Crusades. This continuous fighting associated with Crusades weakened the Seljuk Turks. Christians and Muslims alike started shifting their attention towards the advancing Mongols led by Genghis Khan. The Mongols put an end to what remained of the Abbasid Empire. Impact of Crusades. Crusades ended the feudal relations. Many of the nobles who went to East to take part in the Crusades either stayed too long a period or did not return. Venice, Geneva, and Pisa emerged as important commercial centers in the Mediterranean region. Constantinople ceased to be the middleman in the trade between the East and the West. One notable outcome of Crusades was the loss of prestige suffered by Pope and Papacy. Mongols and Genghis Khan. Now we will see about a small part of Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan was a great military genius. Mongols hold over Russia for about 300 years, made Russia technologically backward from the rest of Europe until the end of Middle Ages. Next we will see about Ottoman Empire. When the Mongols advanced across Asia, Ottoman Turks fled and took asylum under Seljuks in Western Asia. But when the Seljuk Turks weakened, the Ottomans extended their power. The conquest of Constantinople in 1453 AD by Muhammad II helped establish Ottoman supremacy in the Balkans, Black Sea, and the Middle East. For some time, Ottomans were strong and Christian Europe was scared of them. Though weakened during the 19th century, it formally ended only with World War I. Next topic is feudalism. Despite the hold of powerful religions such as Christianity and Islam, the economic life of the king, supposed to be represent God on earth. After him were the great nobles known as dukes, counts, earls. The nobles in turn had vassals of their own. Viscounts or barons at the bottom were the villains or serfs, they are called slaves. In the feudal system, which centered around vassalage, there was no idea of equality or freedom. So, the burden of producing the food and other necessities of life fell on the peasants and artisans. We will see about church. New elements were included in Christian theology. They were the theory of priesthood and the theory of sacraments. These two elements increase the power of the clergy. Now we will see about a new term of excommunication and interdict. What is excommunication? Meant depriving a person of all the privileges of a Christian. He was denied the right to sacraments in church. His or her body could not be buried in the consecrated ground. What is interdict? This was to deny benefits of religion to a ruler's subject, intended to kindle their resentment against him. In the conflict between German Emperor Henry IV and Pope Gregory VII, Pope by means of interdict succeeded in making the emperor to abdicate the throne. By means of interdict, Pope Innocent III forced King John to recognize England and Ireland as fiefs of the papacy. Now we will see about India in the corresponding period. The Huns, a fierce and warlike people from Central Asia, invaded northeast India. They were repulsed by Skandagupta. They entered India after his death and settled all over central India. Toramana and Mikirakula were the two well-known Hun rulers in India. Yashodharman of Malwa is credited to have ended the rule of Huns in India around 528 AD. Chalukyas, that is Badami or Vadabi. Chalukya's relationship with Persia. Chalukya kingdom existed contemporaneously with the rule of Sassanid dynasty in Persia. The Chalukya kingdom comprised the Maharashtra country with Badami as capital. Huan Swan speaks highly of their courage. I hope you are all understand this lesson, ma. Go through the lesson and learn book back question and answer properly. Let's see the book back question answer. Pause the video to note down the question answer. Thank you, ma. You take care of yourself. Bye.